I don't know that it's the soul of language, but it's the soul of something. Definitely has soul.
I think music represents um, mankind's freedom and imagination. I mean, it is a form of art, and actually, all forms of art are a way of like expression of feelings as well as imagination. But then, music is just one of these forms of art. But yeah, it's basically a way of our way of showing our levels of creativity, our imagination, and how we can express our feelings.
Which do you think came first, music or language? And it makes sense that music would come first because it's a lot easier to develop just like tapping on your leg to make a beat, and everybody can relate to that, as opposed to you speaking French and me speaking English. It's really hard for us to communicate if we don't both speak the same language, whereas music, everybody can connect to that.
I think you can hear a song and sometimes you know what it's about before you even like really like pay attention to it. People make songs and you may never have met them, but they know how to express feelings and emotions and thoughts that either you know exactly what they're talking about or they're able to put into words feelings and emotions that you didn't even necessarily like have those words for. So I think it's a cool way to share in what it really means to be human.
There is something missing, and you can feel it with music. So music is related to everything that's missing in my life. I put music instead.
So yeah, I wasn't actually sure at a certain point if I was ever going to finish another record. It also kind of, the whole thing kind of got to a point where I really loved it. I loved music, but it had transformed into something that it just made me feel kind of uncomfortable. Or the thing that I noticed was that the more down I am, the better at what it is that I do. I'm sort of bored with being down, but I've got all these, songs, and the new album is quite depressing as well, So I don't know how we're going to tour for the next year because I don't plan on being in that sort of space. So we're going to have to do something happy soon. But anyway, this is a song that's all about just when you find yourself caught in that space of just the cycle of just punishing yourself and others in order to bring you to a place where you get so frustrated and annoyed that you get inspired and you write a song and then you have a relief.
I think it's cool how like songs can really like bring back memories and stuff that you didn't even know that you weren't really aware that song like kind of stirred that emotion in you.
There have been so many times that I've just had like a really shitty relationship and I could be stuck on it for months, but then I hear a song that kind of like connects with that and just sums it up, and it's a coping device somehow. I don't know how that works, but something about it helps me deal with whatever's been in my head.
Depending on the music that people listen to, it goes with the feelings that they have at the moment. For example, like you might be feeling down and you listen to some really slow blues, and that perfectly goes with that. Or you might be feeling like the luckiest man on the earth, and you might be listening to some cool ass music like Don't Stop Believing by Journey. It kicks you up all the time. So I think it expresses way more than any other art form, and it actually goes with what you feel rather than you trying to understand art. It goes with what you feel.
Then when I'm happy, I can listen to sad music and happy music and all kind of music. but it doesn't have the same meaning than when you're sad and you're listening to sad music and you're like, I feel you.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly over.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz, because it, like, that movie and that song, like, I remember there was times whenever I was younger, my grandma lived across the street and she kind of watched me while my parents worked. So I would go over there and almost every single day I would watch that movie. And so it kind of, in a way, it kind of represents a large chunk of my childhood to me. And now that I'm 21, I still love that song and love that movie. So I think it's significant to me, and that's why I would put it in the soundtrack of my life.
No One Like You by Best Coast. It's kind of about, like, she has this line where she says, like, I'll sleep on the couch if that'll make you love me more. And I feel like the song just, it's mostly about a relationship, but when I relate it to my life, it's about trying too hard for people that you really care about when they'll just accept you anyway. I feel like once I discovered the genre of music I love, it just became my identity. And I'm so proud of it, and I'm so proud of the fact that I play instruments. It definitely feels like part of my identity, the way that it helps me create and the way that it helps me express myself.
I love life, and I won't kill myself if I don't hear music, but I'll be very sad. Something will be missing.
So you think you could live without music?
If I have to, yeah.
Dude, I've thought about that before. Like, if I went deaf or blind, like, I just feel like I'd want to give up because I wouldn't have the tools needed to even do my profession or do the things that I enjoy. Like, music would be gone, audio and video would be gone. Like, it would be shitty. It would be really shitty.
Don't you hate that?
Hate what?
Uncomfortable silences. Why do we feel it's necessary to yak about bullshit in order to be comfortable?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's when you know you found somebody really special. And you can just shut the fuck up for a minute, comfortably share silence.
Well, I don't think we're quite there yet, but don't feel bad. We just met each other.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and powder my nose. And you sit here and think of something to say.
I'll do that.
Where I do believe most of the time when people cannot express their feelings or what they have in their mind, the best thing they can do is just go through music. And then a lot of people who have that mutual understanding, they enjoy that music, and then they do get together. So it is definitely a form of communication where other forms of expression are silenced. When you listen to music with lyrics, you have a script. When you're listening to it, you understand it, and then you feel the same way that it does, and it goes with it. Rather, when you have music without lyrics, it's like a blank slate where you can write your story. So it's kind of like you trying to put yourself in that picture, and you are surrounded by the music. Or whereas rather with lyrics, the story is already written, so you're just trying to relate to it.
I think it's two totally different sides of the spectrum. Like, music with lyrics expresses emotions that I don't know can be understood by music without lyric, but like instrumentals are just, they can be incredibly powerful as well, and they can take you on a totally different ride that can be interpreted any way you want it to be. It doesn't have to be locked down by those lyrics. I don't know that it surpasses other art forms, but it definitely inspires them.
I think everything is influencing all kind of art. For example, when I'm painting and I like to listen to music, and probably a musician who's going to go to an exhibition is influenced by what he sees. So it doesn't surpass, but they're all feeding on each other.
I feel like music is the language of the soul. Definitely hits the nail on the head, because it's just like when you don't feel like you can say anything in words, just like you can listen to a song and it kind of just can express what you don't feel like you can say, or you can write a song and it'll do that for you. And music just has so much emotion in it that I don't feel like I've ever connected in any other way to something so emotionally.
I'm going to say music is the soul of language. And I think that's because your soul can have different types of language, not just music. I think you can express yourself in ways other than music, like art, or like painting, or like dancing, or like anything like that. But as far as language is concerned, I think whenever you get down to like what a soul is and stuff, I think that one just fits a little better.
Well, I've been here before. I sat on a floor in a gray room where I stay in all day. I don't eat, but I play with this gray food. Desolate, if someone is praying, then I might break out. Desolate, even if I scream, I can't scream that